lessons is because you're going to be able to go back and watch them on YouTube. So tonight's lesson is all about fractions and equivalent fractions. So being able to convert your fractions to percentages and being able to convert your percentages to decimals and all the way back to fractions again. That is what we're going over tonight. That's what we're practicing, and that's what we're having a look at tonight. So for our first little section, we're going to have a look at is writing a fraction equivalent to another fraction. So we started off on this the other day as well. We did it when we were multiplying, okay? So we had a look at it then as well. But let's revise over a little bit and just freshen up our minds. So in this example, it says write 7/15 as a fraction with 30 as the denominator. So by this stage, guys, you know what the difference between a denominator is and a numerator. The denominator goes on the bottom, okay? D for down, down at the bottom. Numerator goes on the top, okay? So they're saying to us, write 7/13 as a fraction with 30 as the denominator. All right. So if I'm looking at that, I want 7/15 to be equal to something over 30 is what the question's saying. So I need to ask myself, what do I times 15 by to get to 30? And or I could say 30 divided by 15 gives me 2. Just like our friend who's in the chat here is telling me, I know your name's not iPad, but it's coming up as iPad. It is 2.
I'm sorry, my name is iPad. I'll try and change it.
I can rename it. What is your name?
Zach.
Zach, Z-A-C-K. Is that right?
Without the K.
Z-A-C. Zach. There we go. Renamed for you. Done.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, guys. So when we look at that, whatever we do to the bottom, like we spoke about when we were multiplying, we always do to the top. So if we're timesing the bottom by 2, we're going to multiply the top by 2. And so we get 14/30 is the same as saying 7/50. Okay. If we want to write 20/45 as a fraction with 9 as the denominator, well, what are we looking at now? Okay, we're looking at 20/45 is equal to something over 9. So something over 9, all right? So I need to work out, what do I divide 45 by to get to 9? 45 divided by what gives me 9? Another way of doing that is I could say 45 divided by 9 gives me, thank you, Azande and Umar, very quick there in the chat, divided by 5. All right, which means what do I need to do to the top? On the top, I'm going to say 20 divided by 5 gives me 4, because 45 divided by 5 gave me 9. Okay, whatever I do to the top, I must do to the bottom. All right. So we're going to practice this a little bit, okay? I'm going to let you guys practice those first 3 together. Well, let's bring all 6 up for you. So, well, no, let's bring 3. Okay, I want you to have a look at those first 3. I want you to go and try it, okay? I want you to go and try it. Go give those first 3 a try. Off you go. Give it a try. Hey. All right. Who is looking to help me out here? All right, I see I've got Itandile hand up. Right, hi Itandile. Right, Itandile, let's go. 2.1.1. 1 over 7 is equal to what over 49?
7 over 49.
Well done, because 7 times 7 gives me 49, so 1 times 7 must give me 7. Itandile, stay with me. Let's go. Let's do this all three together. For number
Yes, ma'am.
2.1.2, what did you get for that one?
I got 12, ma'am.
Good. How did you get 12?
Ma'am, where you said when you do to the bottom, you also have to do to the top. So when I got 27, I said 27 divided by 9, which gave me 3. Which
Fantastic.
gave me 3, yes. Then I said 4 times 3, which gave me 12.
Fantastic. Right. And 2.1.3, Itandile, do the last one with me.
It gave me 44, ma'am.
Well done. That one's a bit of a tricky one because it's a big number, but no need to panic, okay? Tell me what you did.
Ma'am, so what I did was when I said 18 divided, when I said 27, ma'am, sorry, 27 divided by 18, which gave me, it didn't give me much. No, 72, sorry, ma'am, 72.
72, okay? That's okay.
Yes, ma'am, which gave me 4. Then when
Good.
I said 11 times 4, which gave me 44.
Amazing. Well done. That's it. Okay. Careful. Sometimes I also mix up those numbers. Just make sure you always put it in your calculator twice, just to be sure, especially if it's giving you weird numbers and like remainders and stuff. Then definitely go and try put in your calculator again. Well done, Itandile. Thank you so much.
Pleasure, ma'am.
Okay, guys. So those are our first three out the gate. Let's go have a look at our next three together now. So our next three are a bit challenging. Okay. I've thrown in a bit of a challenge here because what's happening in our next three? Well, 2.1.6, that one's quite easy. We've done that one before. 36 divided by 12 gives me 3. So I'm going to say 7 times by 3 is going to give me 21. That one's nice and easy, okay? All good, all nice and easy. We're fine, okay? My problems are coming out, okay? My problems are coming out here with 2.1.4 and 2.1.5. Those are the ones where, like, in the test, you're like, ma'am, you never taught us that, and you put it in the test, okay? All right, so let's go have a look at 2.1.4 first. So for me, for 2.1.4, I've got 0.6. All right. The first thing I'm going to do, and we are going to do it a little bit further down now on the page, but the first thing I'm going to do is what you guys did last year when you were in grade 7. I'm going to convert 0.6 to a fraction. So when I convert 0.6 to a fraction, I get 6 over 10. Okay, 6 over 10. Now, if I'm looking at 6 over 10, I can make 6 over 10 a little bit smaller. I can make 6 over 10 3 over 5 because 2 goes into 10 5 times. I'm going to go write it here. And it also goes into 6 3 times. All right, so far I've got 3 over 5. But what they're asking me to do is to change 0.6 to something over 25. Well, now I've got 3 over 5, guys. That's so much easier because 3 over 5 is the same thing as saying what over 25? Tell me in the chat, what is it the same thing as saying over 25? Okay, what is it? What is it? 15. Good, Umar. Well done. What did I need to do? I needed to times by 5. I needed to times by 5. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. 2.1.5 is a challenge. Go try 2.1.5 for me. It's a challenge. I get that. I know it's not as easy as 2.1.4 was. I know I did the easy one. Sorry, guys. Go try 2.1.5 for me. Go try 2.1.5 for me. Go give it a try. Go give 2.1.5 a try. Zach, are you raising your hand to give me the answer or do you have a question?
I think I know the answer
Okay, can I
because
ask you,
I
just
think
let's give everybody like maybe just 2 more minutes and then I'll call on you to do the answer with me, Zach. Are we cool?
okay. Yeah, but I
Okay.
just also do wanna say I think I only know the answers because we really when we learnt in grade 6 these things like quite well, so we immediately know the answers. I
Well
don't
done.
really know how to
Nice.
explain it.
That's okay. That's okay. So you can tell me the way that your teacher taught it to you when you're in grade 6, and then I'll show you the way to work it out as well, to show you're working so you get full marks, okay?
Okay.
Because and stay with me, Zach, like Umar said here in the chat just now, he said to me, now we know working out on a page is quicker than working in your mind. Sometimes that's the truth. And plus, you even get marks for that as well. Okay, cool. Thanks, Zach. All right, while you guys are doing that one, I'm just going to go back in our chat quickly and see. So are we getting 2 brain breaks? Also, hi, everybody. Let's see how we go about our brain breaks tonight. What else did we have here? Is there a way of making this less long? I think you were meaning for 2.1.4. There is a way of making it less long if you know your tables off by heart, but otherwise that's probably the best way to do it. And you don't need to worry about making it less long. Don't forget that the more working you show, the more chance you've got of getting marks. Okay, that's the thing we focused on in high school, showing all our workings to get the maximum number of marks. All right, then I really like Umar's thing. He said, now we know working out on a page is quicker than working in your mind. It is true that, okay? Working it out, writing it out is going to help you so much more than sitting and thinking and staring at the wall and staring at the clock. Also, the more writing you've got on your page and working out, the more likelihood you've got of getting some marks, guys. Okay. All right. So, all right, Mr. Zach, do you want to tell us what your answer was for 2.1.5?
My answer was 3/8.
Good. And Zach, you know that because you were taught that off by heart. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. Stay with me, Zach. We're going to do it the maths way now. So we're going to get full marks. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So do you agree, Zach, that 0.375 is the same thing as saying 375 over what?
1,000.
1,000. Good. Nice. Perfect. Okay, so that's the first thing. 375 is the same thing as saying 0.375, 375 over 1,000. All right. Now I need to ask myself, okay, what goes into 375 and also goes into 1,000? So what number would you start with, Zach? Be honest. What number would you start with?
I don't know.
Okay.
Sorry.
If it was me, I'm going to teach you a cheat that my teachers taught me when I was in school. They always said to me, if your number on the top ends in a 5 or it ends in a 0, then chances are you can divide it by 5, hey? Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we could start with 375 divided by 5 because we know that that's right, hey? So 375 divided by 5 gives me 75. And 1,000 divided by 5 is going to give me 200. Are you happy with that so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. All right, then Zach, what can go into 75 and can go into 200? Remember I taught you my little cheat there now? What happens if a number ends in a 5 or a 0? What probably goes into both of them?
A 5.
5, hey? And do we know that 75 be divided by 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it can. Beautiful. And what about 200 divided by 5? Yes, it can. It gives me 40, hey?
Yes, ma'am.
And one more time. Can 5 go into 15 and into 40?
Yes.
Yes, it can. 5 goes into 15 3 times, and it goes into 40
8.
8. And that's how you actually get 3 over 8.
Okay.
All right, can you see that the maths make sense? The thing that you had to learn off by heart actually makes math sense as well, hey?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, well done, Zach. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Mateo's asking me, ma'am, can't you just type it on the calculator? Then the answer is given. Mateo, I agree with you. You can just type it on the calculator. The problem is when in grade 8, when the instructions say to you, show all workings. If you haven't shown all your workings, some of you who might have already written your first test in grade 8 might have already come to realize this, that if you didn't show all your workings, what happens? What happens? You lose marks. Okay, it's very, very important that you show all your workings in grade 8. If you're just going to put the answer down from your calculator, you're going to get less marks. There we go. Lorena's saying you get less marks. All right, Lorena, you saying you lost. And Kuli, you also saying you lost. We're going to go over some more like this. We're going to practice some more. Don't stress. Don't get lost. Don't get discouraged, sorry. Be encouraged because we're going to do some more practice. Okay, or it's some more a little bit later on. All right, let's have a look at our next section. So in our next section, we're saying to convert a decimal fraction to a common fraction, write the decimal over a numerator of 10 or 100. So that's what we were just practicing doing, okay? We were just practicing doing 0.7 was equal to 7 over 10. Okay, so 0.7, the same thing as saying 7 over 10. All right. If we look at 0.56, well, 0.56 is the same thing as saying 56 over 100. Now, in maths, when you have a fraction, you must always, always, always show it as the smallest fraction possible, okay? So if we're looking at 56 over 100, what can go into 56 and can also go into 100? Well, we know that 2 can go in first, so you could have divided by 2 and you could have gotten 28 over 50, and then you could have divided by 2 again and you would have gotten 14 over 25. Or you can divide straight by 4 if you know that you can divide by 4, and you get 14 over 25. Okay. All right. So let's have a look at the chat here quickly. So some people saying, yeah, I got marks for specifying the formulas. Exactly, Brie, or show your formulas. Okay. Zach was saying that's where you lost a bit of marks. Yeah, you're writing down your working. Okay. Ma'am, I sure working because you can get extra marks. Yes, exactly. If your steps are right and your answer's wrong. Okay, we've been talking about that. All right. So even if you've shown all your workings and your answer is wrong at the end, like you make a small mistake somewhere along the end, in your workings, you can get marks for your workings in high school, which is really cool. All right. Okay, Lorena's saying, how about 3 decimals? So Lorena, Mateo's already answered you, but let's give you an example. There are 3 decimals. All right, so if we had to have a number that was 0.437, then that would be the same as saying 437 over 1,000. What about if it had 4 decimals? What if it was 0.2121? Then it would be 2121 over 10,000. Okay, so it always depends on, I always say to myself, how many numbers do I have on the top? So here I'm going to go count them. All right, I've got 1, 2, 3. So I put my 1 down on the bottom and I say 1. Oh dear, sorry. 1. No, my pen's going a bit weird. But 1, 2, 3 zeros. Okay, and that gives me 1,000, over 1,000. All right, Itandile, do you have a question for me?
Ma'am, on
Yeah.
the last example you did, ma'am, I don't understand. I was lost.
So how you get 14 over 25? This one.
No, ma'am, the one before it.
0.375, that one.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to do it again because I think lots of people are confused. Stay with me. You're going to work with me. You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
You stay with me. You ready? Here we go. So I've got 0,375, and I need to make that into a fraction. Hey?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what is it in a fraction? Tell me. It's 300
And 75 over 1,000.
over 1,000. Good. Now, what goes into 375 and also goes into 1,000?
5, ma'am.
5. Good. So divide by 5. Divide by 5. Right. What's 375 divided by 5?
75, ma'am.
75. Good. What's 1,000 divided by 5?
200.
200. Good. Right. What goes into 75 and also goes into 200?
5, ma'am.
5. So I'm going to divide again, hey?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. What's 75 divided by 5?
15.
15. Nice. What's 200 divided by 5?
40.
40. Nice. What goes into 15 and can also go into 40?
5.
5. Right. 15 divided by 5 gives me
3.
3. 40 divided by 5 gives me.
8.
So what's my final answer?
3 over 8.
3 over 8. Done. Does it make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
So we're making it as small as possible. That's what we're doing. Okay. All
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
Okay. Hopefully everybody else understands now as well. Thanks, Atandile.
Pleasure, ma'am.
All right, guys. So let's go back here. So to convert a common fraction to a decimal, we must divide the numerator by the denominator. So that's what we're doing when we're converting, okay, a common fraction into a decimal, all right? We are dividing the numerator by the denominator. So literally, normally what we do is we look and we try and convert the bottom to be a 10 or 100 or 1,000. That makes our lives a lot easier, okay? That makes our lives a lot easier, all right? If the denominator is not a 10, okay, or 100, all right, then we convert the fraction to an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 10 or 100. So that's what we've learned about. That's what we've been doing this whole time. Okay, so if we had 13 over 20, well, 20 is not 10, all right? But what can we do to 20? We can make 20 to become 100. How do we get 20 to become 100? We times it by 5. So whatever we do to the bottom, we do to the top, all right? So 20 times by 5 is 100. 13 times by 5 gives me 65. And when I go and I put my number into a decimal, I get 0,65. All right. If the denominator is not a factor of 100 or another power of 10, use your calculator and round your answer to a suitable number of decimal places. So what I want you guys to do is there are 5 questions there. You're going to convert those decimal fractions to common fractions and write them in the simplest form for me. Off you go. Off you go. So convert those decimal fractions to common fractions and write your answer in the simplest form. There's 5 questions there. I'm giving you 3 minutes to go try by yourself, and then we're going to do the answers. Go give it a try. Right, go give it a try. All right. 1 more minute. Okay, Lulu is saying she can't hear me. So let's reply to Lulu, guys. Okay, right. Let's have a look. So the first one we had there was 0,5. Nice and easy, guys. Straight off the bat, 0,5. So 0,5. Oh dear. 0,5 is the same thing as saying 5/10. What can go into 5 and can also go into 10? I've said to you guys before, always look at your 5s. And so that's the same thing as saying a half. All right, so you should have got a half for the first one. In my next one, I've got 0,28. So for number 2, I've got 0,28. All right, if we're looking at 0,28, that's the same thing as saying 28/100. What can go into 28 and can also go into 100? Well, you could have started with 2 and then gone up and gone with 2 again, or you can just jump straight in and you can go and say 4 goes into both. So 4 goes into 28 7 times and goes into 100 25 times. Guys, if you went with 2 first and then 2 again, as long as you get the same answer as me in the end, perfect, no problem. Okay, well done, Lorena. You went with 4. Great, well done. Okay. All right, my next one was 0,07 and then 0,95. So I'm just going to go write those out for myself. 0,07 and then I had 0,95. So for 0,07, 0,07 is the same thing as saying, now be careful, this one is 7/100. Okay, some students get confused and they're like, oh, ma'am, 7/100, like what is going on there? Okay, it's in the second decimal place, guys, and so it's 7/100. There's nothing that goes into 7 and nothing that goes into 100, so it stays as is, 7/100. And finally, the last one, well, for this page, 95/100. What goes into 95 and goes into 100, guys? Tell me in the chat. What did you get? What goes into both? What goes into 95? Good, well done. 5. 5 goes into both, hey? So 95 divided by 5 gives me 19, and 100 divided by 5 gives me 20. Okay. And my final one that was on this page was 0,72. So 0,72 is the same thing as saying 72/100. And if I'm looking at 72/100, what can go into both? All right, I could start with 2. Absolutely, Azande, I agree with you. 2 could go into both. Sure, of course. What could also go into both, guys? What about 4? Could 4 go into both? Tell me, do you agree with me? Could 4 go into both, or am I dreaming? Okay, what about 4? Good, nice. 4 can go into both. So 72 divided by 4 gives me 18. 100 divided by 4 gives me 25. And I'm left with 18/25. So each of those ones that you had to make smaller will be worth 2 marks, guys. So I'm going to show you. You'll get 1 mark for doing that and 1 mark for simplifying it. Okay, so if you didn't simplify it in the last step, you can at least get 1 mark. All right, so you can at least get 1 out of 2. Same as here. 1 mark for showing this step, 1 mark for showing that step. So it'll be at least 1 mark out of 2. Okay, all right. Okay, well done, Lejo. Well done, well done. All right, let's move on. We are now going to look at converting common fractions into decimals. So there's 5 there for you guys. There's 5. I'm going to give you 3 minutes. 3 minutes. You got 5. All right. Okay, there's 5. Go give it a try. Lorena, I know you're saying that somebody's on a mission with the emojis, but if you look at all the emojis, it's actually you, my love, that's busy putting the emojis onto your comments. So just have a look. Maybe you're something stuck on your screen. All right. Umar's busy putting the answers. Carry on going, Umar. Okay, keep going, guys. 1 more minute. You got this. Okay, keep going. Right, 30 more seconds. Thirty more seconds. Okay. All right, guys, let's go and have a look. Let's have a look at what we got here. So our first one was 3/10. I'm going to put the answers underneath as best I can. So, oh dear. Screen went's a bit weird. All right, my first one is 3/10. So if I'm looking at that and I convert it into a decimal, I'm going to get 0,3. Okay, 0,3. For my next one, when I'm looking at my next one, first I would convert that to 6/10 so that it's over 10. And that would give me 0,6. Okay. All right. Oh, Mateo, I was just going to ask you if you wanted to answer and then you disappeared. Mateo, come back. All right, Lorena, what did you get for 2.3?
2.3. I got what is my answer? I got it's confusing, ma'am. I couldn't find a way to make it easier. I just wrote down 0.59.
Good, 0,59. Happy with that. Well done. Thank you. Thanks, Lorna. All right, Mateo, you back. Mateo, talk to me. What did you do for 4.24?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I first said 21 times 4 and 25
Fantastic.
times 4,
Good.
which gives you 84 over 100, which is 0,84.
You rock star. 0,84.
Thank you,
Well
ma'am.
done. Stay with me. Do the last one with me because it's a nice, easy one. What did you get for the last one?
Oh, ma'am, 0.27.
Well done. 0.27.
Thank you, ma'am.
Nice. Right. Last section, guys. Last section for tonight. And then we're going to try get a brain break in really quickly at the end of the lesson. Really quickly. I know it's not a brain break because it's the end of the lesson, man. How's it a brain break? But let's go. Last question for tonight. Or last little section, and then we'll do our brain break and we'll see how much more we can get to. Okay, so convert these fractions to decimal fractions. So there's 5 more there for you. Convert those fractions for me to decimal fractions. I'm giving you another 3 minutes. Go give it a try. Okay. All right, 2 more minutes. Oh, I'm sorry, Lorona, but 2 more minutes of this. 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Gotta practice it. Gotta practice it. Gotta get it down. Gotta get it perfect. All the easy stuff. Gotta get all the easy stuff right. Okay, all the easy stuff. We want to get it all right. So it's 100%. Okay, I want all my grade 8s getting all their full marks on all the easy questions. All right, guys, you might still be going, but I'm going to give you the answers so long so that we can get to our brain break here, which you're also keen to do. So for the first one, I would times the bottom by 4 and times the top by 4. And so that gives me 0, oh my goodness, I need to get my calculator out. My brain is not braining on a Thursday. Let's go. So 17 times 4, 68, 0.68. 4.3.2, what am I doing? I'm going to times the top by 2. Whatever I do to the bottom, top I must do to the bottom. So I'm going to get 0.22. For 4.3.3, what am I going to do? I'm going to times the bottom by 5 to get to 10. And whatever I do to the bottom, I must do to the top. So I'm going to get 0.5. Let's maybe, whoopsie daisy, guys. Just going to put them in a different color for you so that you can see the difference between all of them. Okay. All right. For my next one, I've got 4.3.4, so it's over 8. Oh my goodness, how do I get 8 to be in one of the either 100 or 1,000, or what do I need to do? Well, if I take 100 and I divide it by 8, that gives me a weird number, so I'm not going to do that. So what am I going to do instead? I'm going to say 1,000 divided by 8, that gives me 125. So I'm going to times the bottom by 125, times the top by 125, 3 times 125 gives me 0.375. And finally, I'm going to times the bottom by 5 times the top by 5. And that's going to give me 0.45. Okay, 0.45. All right, I hope you got all those ones down. Okay, we're going to do a short brain break. Okay, because I know that you are exhausted from fractions and decimal fractions and, oh my goodness, getting them all in. So in the chat, there is a link to our Mentimeter, okay? To our Mentimeter for tonight. So there it is in the chat for you. I'm going to go and put the QR code here for you as well, in case you want to scan the QR code. So there is the QR code on your screen. If you want to use the code instead for Mentimeter, you know what the site is and you're just looking for the code, there is the code for you. Okay, so there's your QR code. There's the link in the chat for you. All right. And we're going to have a look at sharing the answers with you. Let's have a look. So there are 2 questions there for tonight. 2 questions here for you for tonight. Okay. Now make that a bit smaller for you guys. And let's have a look at our answers coming in. All right. So your first questions there. What are your plans for the holidays so far? We've got 5, chill, PlayStation. Just going to play PlayStation for the whole holiday, okay? All 10 days. Sleep, go to Cape Town. Nice. Go to Cape Town. Nice. Nicest place to be. Sleep and watch movies. Nice. Sleep. Going to Zimbabwe. Oh, very fancy. Play Call of Duty. I'm guessing that's... Oh, mobile for 24 hours. Okay. I was thinking that's PlayStation, but okay. Playing with my friends, going to London, fancy. All right, Xbox and swim. Nice, guys. Visiting your cousin and spending Easter at church. Nice. I forgot that it's Easter coming up as well. That's the Easter holidays, hey. All right. That's awesome, guys. I'm so glad you guys are going to have a nice holiday. I'm glad some of you are going to relax. But for those of you who are going to be here on a Tuesday and a Thursday night, because there's still Maths Live in the holidays, all right, the next question is for you. The next question is, in the holiday lessons, would you rather do, okay, or would you rather, okay, go over term 1 work in the holidays? All right, so I'm talking about Maths Live lessons here now, guys. I'm planning for your lessons in the holidays. Would you rather go over term 1 work, learn new work from term 2, or, ma'am, I'm sleeping all holiday. See ya in term 2. Okay. 4 people are already sleeping all holiday. I'm not seeing you. What? Okay, I'm seeing lots of people wanting to learn new work from term 2. Okay, cool. All right, I think that's a good idea. We get a head start on term 2's work. I think it's a really good idea, guys. Share your voice though, so that your voice is heard. So when you come to class and you're in the classes and you're like, what is ma'am talking about? All right. Mateo, man, we've already started algebraic expressions. Oof, Mateo, so you've already started your term 2 work, so we'll be going over that in the holiday, okay? We'll be going over it in the holiday. All right, sleep first. For those of you who are a bit worried and you're like, oh, but ma'am, now you're going to teach it in the holiday, and what about us coming back? Guys, we will be going over it at the end of the term as well, so we'll do like a revision as well. Okay. All right, Lejo, do you have a question for me?
Oh, ma'am, I don't really have a question, ma'am. But then, you know what's weird? Easter is actually going to be on March because I think it's a leap year.
You're
I think it's
right.
actually
It is weird,
Yes,
hey?
ma'am.
So weird. Weird.
I know,
weird.
right?
Very
Especially,
weird.
ma'am, this is actually my birthday month because next week Monday is my birthday.
Wow. Look at you. So it's like even weirder for you because it's all mixed up. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, guys. So we're definitely then in the holidays. Only 14 people have voted, but in the holidays, we're going to be learning new work from term 2. Thank you for your votes. I appreciate it. That's going to help me plan. It was really nice to also hear what you all doing in the holidays. That's really cool. I love it. Let's get back and let's finish off our fractions. So we are done with fractions once and for all. Right. In a test or in an exam, if you haven't already written your test or your exam yet, okay, your first test or exam for maths, all right, they always, I know because I'm a maths teacher, so I know, we love this table. If you haven't got this table yet, it's coming. It's either coming in your test or it's coming in the exam. Or you know where else we love it? We love it in EMS as well. I know you think that it's not coming in EMS, but we love it there as well. There we go. Somebody's saying that they saw it in their test. Some people are having an argument in the chat. Stop arguing, please. We did a test today, they said, and we got this in it. Exactly. Okay. So this table is coming. All right. Be prepared. We're going to go over this table together. So what it looks like is they give you a table and it says common fraction, decimal fraction, percentage. Guys, you're going to be ready now when you get this question. You're going to be ready because you know a common fraction is the smallest possibility of that fraction. You know, even though it says decimal fraction, it's not a fraction. What is it? It's a decimal. So you know what a decimal is now. And a percentage, what does a percentage need to be? It always needs to be over 100, hey? So let's go. What's the easiest way to tackle this table? I'm going to teach you the easiest way to tackle this table, guys. Okay. So in order to tackle this table, I would say the easiest way is to get everything in your common fractions, if they're giving you common fractions, to get them to be over 100 so you can get to your percentages, literally. All right. So if I'm looking at 1 over 4, okay, how do I get 1 over 4 to be something over 100? All right. I'm going to say to myself, I want this 1 over 4 to be equal to something over 100. Well, 100 divided by 4 gives me 25. So 1 times 20, 5. So because it's over 100, I can immediately go and say that this is 25%. Nice and easy. Sorted. Sorted. Okay, Lorona, exactly. Fractions first, the rest later. Exactly. All right. Then, because I've got 25 over 100, I'm now easiest to go and say 0.25. So the way I tackle this table is I say fraction first, then percentage, then decimal, if that's the order that they've given me. Let's look at my next one. They gave me 0.5. So I normally say fraction first. So that's it. Umar has said to me, well, 0.5 is the same thing, ma'am, as saying 5 over 10. If I want to make that smaller, okay, I just want to say, if I want to make that smaller, the final answer is going to be a half. All right, the final answer is going to be a half. But if I need to make that into a percentage, okay, a half is a nice, easy one because what's a half of 100%? It's 50%. So that one's easy to remember, guys. But if you're wanting to do it mathematically, it needs to be over 100. So what would I do over here? 10 times 10 gives me 100. So 5 times 10 gives me 50. Right. Now they've given me 75. Easiest to do my fraction first. So 75 is equal to 75 over 100. What goes into 75 and also goes into 100? Well, I could go like the easy. I could go like 5. Exactly, Umar. I could go 5. But could I maybe go a bit bigger? What about 25? Could I maybe go 25, guys? What about 25? 25 goes into 75 3 times and into 100 4 times. If you go 5, that's fine. It just means you're going to have to go 5 again. Okay. If I want to make this into a decimal, that's also quite easy. If I take 75 over 100, it's going to give me 0.75. All right. Oof, us teachers, we like the next one, 1 over 3. 1 over 3. Now, you can learn 1 over 3 off by heart. All right? You can learn 1 over 3 off by heart. Guys, if you learn it off by heart, you get this. You get 0.3 recurring. Okay? So you get 0.3 recurring. Or you can write it like this. You can say 0, some teachers say 0.33 recurring. Okay, or some teachers say 0, they do this 0.3333 like that. But the most accurate way is to write it as 0,3 recurring. Okay, exactly, Lorona. It's infinite. Well done. It's infinite. Now, if I want to do it as a percentage, that's where some students get confused because they're like, what? Now we got to put it over 100. You don't have to worry about putting it over 100. What you could do is you could take your decimal and you could times your decimal by 100 as well. So if you had to take your decimal and times your decimal by 100, it would give you 33,3 recurring percents. Where does the recurring come from? The recurring comes from, Bree, that 3 can't go into 1 without leaving a remainder. So if you go and you do long division, so let's go do that quickly. If we go do 1 divided by 3, well, 1, and we do daddy, mommy, sister, brother, hey? Okay? So we divide first. 1 divided by 3, can't do it. So what do? I put a 0. I put a comma, and I bring down the 0. How many times does 3 go into 10? 3 goes into 10 3 times. So divide. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay. Subtract. 3 minus 9 is 1. Bring down another 0. 10 divided is 3, and it'll just carry on going. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, it'll just carry on going. Okay. All right. If I'm doing 2 over 3, guys, if I'm doing 2 over 3, well, 2 over 3, if 0,3 was 1 over 3, then 2 over 3 is going to be 0,6 recurring. All right. And for the percentage, what is it going to be? It's going to be 66,6 recurring percents. Okay. So those are my tricky ones that I wanted to go over with you. What I will do for you is I will get the answers for the rest of this table, and I'm going to put the rest of this table on your classroom. So all the answers will be on your classroom for this table, okay? For this table, all your answers will be on the classroom for you. All right. If there's anybody who wants to stay and ask me a lastminute.com question, guys, you are welcome to do so. Otherwise, I will see you guys next week, Tuesday, when it'll just be like nearly 1 week until the end of class. Thank you, guys. See you soon. Zach, I will put the channel for you at the bottom here. You're going to look up Maths Live like that. Okay. Oh, Lorona, it won't be annoying. You're going to be like, when you find it, Lorona, I'm looking at you. I can see you on my screen. When you find it in your test, you're going to be like, Kirsty said so. I know it. And she said so. And here it is. And then you're going to get 100% for it because you're going to know what to do. Okay. You're going to find it and you're going to remember me. Remember our class. Okay. Bye, guys. I'm unmuting you, Lorona. Lorona, am I right?
You are right, ma'am.
I'm right. I'm going to say, I wish I was in your class when you find it. And then you're going to be like, oof, Kirsty said so. I knew it. Okay. 100% for this table, hey?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. Well done. All right, guys. Anyone else wants to ask a question? I'm here for a few minutes that I'm staying online. Doesn't have to be about this topic. If you've got another topic you want to ask a question about, you're more than welcome to. No one else. We all good. Bye, bye, Zach. Bye, guys. There we go. Lejo.
Hi, ma'am, again.
Oh, sorry, Lejo. I muted you. Sorry. Unmute yourself. Quick. By accident.
It's fine. It's fine, ma'am. Ma'am, can you please send the link for the YouTube channel? Because when I search it, I can't find it.
Sure. Let me go look it up quickly for you. Give me 2 seconds. Oh, dear.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so it is. Let me go to YouTube first. Would be a good idea. So you go to YouTube. Then we look for MathsLive. It's so weird that you can't find it. It's weird. But maybe because I've searched for it like 106 times, probably, hey? Okay, I am putting it for you in the chats. There we go. There's the channel. Go like the channel, hey, and follow it.
I don't remember. Subscribe. Don't remember. Also put a like. Thanks, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Bye, Bye. Lorena, you back? What question have you got for me?
Is there a simpler way for like simplifying fractions? Because
So,
simple fractions are just long.
I agree with you. So there is a simpler way. And the simpler way is, do you have that fancy calculator?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
I have
if
it
you
with
exactly, if you put it into your fancy calculator, so if on your fancy calculator, if you put the fraction button and you put 375 as your numerator and you put 1,000 as your denominator and you press equals, have a look what it does.
Okay, ma'am.
We got it. I'll stay with you. So on your fancy calculator, press the you see the fraction button on there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then in the numerator, 375, denominator, 1,000,
Yes, ma'am.
then press equals.
I just got a decimal.
Did I give you a test? Okay, then on your fancy calculator, do you see the button that says like it's got an S and then like an arrow and it's got a D on it? Does your one have that? S and an arrow and D. Show your calculator up to the screen for me. Let me have a look at it properly. Let me see which calculator it is. I can't see. That one. Okay, so on there must be a way, like press equals again, maybe?
Equals
Press equals again. So
I'm not sure.
on that fancy calculator, either there's a button that says S, so it looks like this. Let me write it on my screen. So I've still got my screen for you. Okay. So sometimes it looks like this. It's like this. It says S and then like this, D. So S2D.
It's supposed to look like
Yeah, that's it. That's one of the fancy ones. Is it a Casio, that one, or is it a Sharp?
ma'am.
Is that a Casio calculator or a Sharp calculator? Which calculator is it?
The Casio.
It's the Casio, hey? And you sure this button isn't there? S and then one that looks like an arrow thing and a D.
It's not there, ma'am.
Okay, give me the number for the calculator. Hold it up to the screen again for me. Let me see. I want to see what number it is, and then I'm going to look it up for you. Oh no, I can't read it. FX what? What is it? FX, read it to me.
It's JS.
JS
That's a dash.
dash.
350.
Yeah.
MS.
Yeah.
Another dash. And a 5.
5. Does it have FX on it anyway? No.
No.
Okay. All right. I'm going to look it up for you and I'll let you know next week. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
On that fancy calculator actually simplifies it for you as well. That's what I was trying to tell you. So literally, if you can find it on that, if you can play around with that fancy calculator and you can find it, that fancy calculator will simplify fractions for you. That's what somebody was saying in class earlier on.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. And so then you don't have to worry about going through this whole hassle, but then you won't get your calculation marks. That's all. Okay.
But
I'm going to look it up and I'll let you know. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool.
Thank
See you
you.
next week. No problem. Bye.
Bye.